Well, our issues are moving from Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, now to the south of Nigeria, specifically Edo State, where Senator Monday Okpebholo has celebrated 100 days in office. And 100 days in office, the question is, how far so far? We have with us this morning one who should be able to give, well, I don't know if his assessments will be objective, but he certainly should have an idea of what is expected, having won, well, almost those shoes himself. We have joining us this morning Mr. Shaibu, who is a former deputy governor of Edo State. It's good to have you here with us in our studios. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Well, this is what we see, that we have a tradition whereby we look at 100 days in office for elected public officials, particularly those in executive positions. And when you were deputy governor, did you feel that pressure?
Yeah, there's always that pressure. First 30 days, first 100 days especially, has become a convention that they want to assess a government. That pressure was there, actually. And I think it's a good pressure to put you on the toes from day one, from the when you were sworn in, to just hit the ground running. The pressure is there. And if you actually know what you are doing, and you have plans for contesting an election, then after swearing in, you should be able to hit the ground running. And even after 10 days, you are asked what you are doing for the people, you should be able to give account of what you are doing. So 100 days in office, by my own assessment from being there before, it's not enough to actually to assess any government, but it's enough to know if the government is going to do well or not.
Well, this is a government you supported into power. Senator Monday Okpebholo is no stranger to you. You are now a member of his party, is that correct? So I will be, I do not know if your assessment is going to be less than saying he's done very well, but if you were to look very critically, would you say that he has impressed you with his first 100 days?
Yes, I would say yes, not because I'm in his party or we're in the same party, no. I would say yes because I was, I think this studio, if I'm not mistaken, in another program, PoliticsToday, when I was contesting to be the flag bearer of PDP. And I came here, I read out my agenda was 6 points, and I read out the infrastructural part. I remember bringing a chart here and a design of the number of bridges I was going to construct in my first 1 year in office.
First 365 days?
Yes, in office. And I brought a design, brought everything here, and it was shown. And in 100 days, Monday Okpebholo has started one of them, the flyover in Ramat Park. That is a major project. It's a major project that will ease traffic and movement of goods and services, and also reduce accident. So even if I was not a member of his party, that alone has already endeared it to me. And there are other things that he has done. That Edo Line is another major one. It was one, Edo Line and Bended Breweries. I was involved in the conversation with AMCOM to see how we can bring it back to life. I couldn't complete it before the quarrel, and the file was taken from me, and nothing happened to that. In 100 days, Edo Line is back. So I can go on, and I couldn't travel to, as deputy governor, for me to go to my constituency. I'm an homeboy, I'm a village man. For me, I like traveling to my village every other week to be with my people. I couldn't travel to village every other week. Most time, I have to take time, like 1 month, to be able to go to village because the roads were very, very bad. And we're not ready to do it, we see as federal government road. And in 100 days, this governor has been able to partner with federal government. And I remember coming to this studio to say, if it means for me to kneel down and beg the president to help, I will do so. And I saw this governor kneeling down to thank president for coming to help us fix that road. So there are a lot of things, not because I'm in this party or I supported him. If he's not doing well, I'll say the same thing. There are 1 or 2 mistakes that we have also said this one is not right, let's do it this way. But so far, by my assessment, he is bringing governance back to the people. He's not a package guy. He's bringing governance back to the people. And that is what is endearing me to him.
Well, I know that Ayo has questions for you. Ayo.
Well, thank you, Mokwe. It's good to see you again, Your Excellency. But, you know, let's begin with something that you said you were quoted as saying during your one of your public speakings. You was saying that the programs and appointments made by the governor will benefit the people of Edo State. But you now said that you pray that he gets the necessary funds to deliver the dividends of democracy. Is there any, what do you mean by that, if you don't mind explaining?
Yeah, you know, everybody wants to come into, when you are campaigning, you say everything you want to do without actually, especially somebody like him that was not in the system, coming to say he wants to be governor, he wants to do everything, he wants to put a condition on the road, but he's not actually aware of the level of finances of the state. He's not aware of the indebtedness of the state. So when you are making those promises and you are not part of the system, you think there's money to execute all your heart desire for the people. But when you get there, you now discover that the issue of resources is not as you thought it would be to deliver the dividends of democracy to the people. So when I hear people campaign, and I was in the system, I smile, I said, look, these guys don't know, it's not as they think. So that was why I made that statement. And this clever thing the governor has done, which I applaud him for, which we didn't do, is his ability to be able to go to the center and ward the center for support. And the support coming from the center will free the state resources for other development. And that is what he's cleverly doing. And I think that will help him to develop fast.
Well, this is 100 days, and generally people would say, okay, you know, everyone, particularly in the executive, want to make the best impression within the shortest possible time and over time. So that comment that you made, of course, thank you for the explanation, but there will be those who will say, maybe you are already making excuses for him in case he's not able to deliver some of the dividends that he promised.
I'm really not making excuses. I consistently now, with what I've gone through and what I've seen in the system, with my experience, I encourage everybody now to pray for our leaders. We need prayers, because if the governor fails, Edo State fails. If the president fails, Nigeria fails. So immediately we win elections, let's put politics aside and now try to assist. If you cannot assist through your effort, assist through prayers at least. I am one of those believers that effort and prayers work together. So, but if collectively we agree and we do that, we'll be able to succeed. Because, frankly speaking, resources are there only to the extent we are able to utilize them for the good of our people and putting the right people in place to make them work. And also being particular about what you want to achieve without trying to do everything at the same time. And that is why the issue of agenda comes. Every government, even our own government, the first 100 days, it was clear that we wanted to do good things and everything. But along the line, politics and interest comes in. And that is why I consistently, without missing words, each time I say support Okpebholo, I followed it up with, please also pray for him, so that if there are things that makes one to change and now become something negative, let it not be in its own time, so that at least our state can have peace and develop.
You led me to the next question that I had in mind all the while. Do you think it is possible to divorce politics in any way, manner, shape, or form from governance in any state in Nigeria?
No and yes. No, in the sense that it's a political office. So that is where you need wisdom to be able to separate politics and work. And you must be able to also separate certain offices must not be, and politics should not be considered for certain offices. There are offices that are professional. You must get professionals, whether they are in politics or not, but you must make sure that they are there to be able to help to engineer the system and make the system work. Whereas the political aspect is very key. Key in the sense that you must be able to respect people. You must be able to respect people. And you must be able to, this idea, they tell me to share money, forget about that. There's nothing like they tell me to share money. What the people want is to be identified with them. There are projects that you can give to these people and you keep the party and everybody working. Whereas there are projects you cannot politicize. Technical projects must be given to technical people without politics, and you must be firm about that. And there are projects that you can give to everybody and everybody is happy. But you cannot devolve politics for a political office. But the ability to navigate and know where to bring politics and where not to bring politics, that is where the wisdom comes in.
Well, leading to, I'm still talking politics. Well, there are quite a number of frayed nerves in the build-up to the election for the governor of Edo State. Now, how do you, I speak about politics in that light. Now, there are some people who are still disgruntled, who are still not happy with what has gone on and what is probably going on. And as a proverb says in the southwest of Nigeria, no matter how tall your horse is, so long as it belongs, no matter how tall your horse is, so long as it belongs to your enemy, that horse is not tall. So there are those who would not see anything good in what the governor of Edo State is doing right now. So what are the plans that you would recommend, if in case you are not part of it, to nurse, to calm frayed nerves, as you said, for the good of Edo State as well? All political interests, both on the other side, on the one side and on the other side, can come together for the development of Edo State. Do you see that happening?
Yeah, I think the governor has started that. I applauded him for the some of the appointments he has made, especially that of AAU, where a PDP stalwart is the chairman of the governing council of Ambrose Ali University. This is how to bring everybody together. It must not be an APC person alone that is appointed. So the president did the same. The minister of FCT is a PDP strong. So it's about the personality and the character of the person, what he's bringing on board. And so when you pick some of these people from different parties to your government, it shows the sign that you want to bring everybody on board. But what I would recommend to him, which I've in private I've always told him, is that we needed an homeboy to be the governor of Edo State, and he came, and that was the reason for my support. We needed an homeboy because we've tested homeboys and we have tested outsiders, and we have seen that if the outsiders cannot develop our state, it's only homeboy. He is one of those that we categorize as homeboy. He has started that practical government that in Edo State. He should just sustain it. And if he can sustain it for the remaining 3.5 years, that is a ticket for second term. And if he can sustain in the second term, then he has succeeded in developing, and he has succeeded in telling us what he wanted to do and what he told us about practical governance. Because the truth is that I was there, and I was in the House of Assembly for 8 years in the state. I was deputy governor 8 years in the state, and I've worked with Osumbo as governor, worked with Oshomole as governor, and worked with Obaseki. And when I see talk from experience, from what I saw in the three, it's important that it is better to do those projects that touches the life of the people and people can feel and touch it. If you do that, you have written your name in gold. We have not gotten to that level of politics where I want to do Western politics. I use the word Western politics. It's just like, let me give you this example. You go to maybe one of these big hotels to eat amala. Then you go to Iya to eat amala. It's not the same. The big hotel will tell you boil water for 5 minutes, stir and do this. Iyamala doesn't have that to do. You just cook it raw and everything. It's sweeter with the Iyaoyo than the big hotel that you go to eat.
I'm actually surprised, Your Excellency, that we didn't talk about the Iyaoyo preparing amala. But we'll come to that.
No, because I eat the Iyaoyo over here in Abuja.
Okay, well, still talking politics.
So I'm just using that as an
of course, I understand. We're running out of time, but I just want to quickly bring this to you as well. I'm still talking politics. You were also at the Federal House of Representatives, and there was a conversation Malkwe had with about women in politics earlier. What do you make of that? Some people call it drama in the National Assembly involving the Senate, a senator, and the President of the Senate. What do you make of it?
Yeah, interestingly, Natasha is my friend, and Senator Okpebholo, the President of the Senate, is my political leader. I think the issues is that there are rules guiding the House. That was in the National Assembly. It's the prerogative of the leadership of the House to allocate office and to allocate seats. And and in the House, there is what they call lobby. You lobby for everything. For you to have a good office when you come in, maybe because of my experience as a two-time member of Edo South Assembly, when I came to Abuja, from day one, I went quickly to lobby, check the kind of offices that they have, areas and the location. I was able to lobby to have my office close to where I wanted it. And seats, I was able to also hurriedly go and lobby for where I want to sit. Whereas some persons that were coming for the first time did not know that you lobby for things like that. So there are rules. The rules of the House is clear. And you must be guided by the rules. It doesn't mean whether you are a man or a woman. The rules are meant for the House. So, and when you are subscribed to the oath of office, you must abide by the rules. So the issue of seats and the issue of offices and all those, they are privileged. And that is why even for the rules to be obeyed and to be enforced, we have a committee they call Ethics and Privilege. That also helps to moderate the attitude and discipline in the office. So for me, I don't think this is a gender thing. I think there is miscommunication somewhere, and we should abide by the rules of the House, and the rules are clear. And the rules is not made for a woman, or neither is it made for a man. But it's unfortunate that I watched the last program. 4 women are in the Senate. Well, I think they need to do more so that they can have more voices and change the rules in their favor.
Well, I don't know. Ayo has now changed the topic entirely. But since you say that, you said they need to change, who is the they that needs to change the rules to let more women in?
Yeah, I think, first, don't forget that tradition, whether you like it or not, we are an African, we are Nigerians. Tradition is there. And our tradition mixing with the Western culture is where the issues are really. Because if you check, even the women in the House, if you check, most of them are from certain part of the country. Even when we're in the House of Rep, only few women are from certain part of the country. So tradition and religion is also contributing to lack of women more.
Representation.
Representation in elected position, not in appointed position.
Do you think we can do something about it?
We have to do something about our culture, If it must work, we must do that, something about our religion, it must work. Because women really, in terms of religion, in terms of culture, that is where the issues are. It's not whether we want women. I am one person that is an advocate of women. And when I was in the House of Assembly and even as deputy governor, they refer me as he to she or so. I'm always advocating for women representatives, because even in my office as the deputy governor, the key drivers of the portfolios I was handling in the office, majority of them were women. In sport, Sabina was there, my PPS, woman. So all my permanent secretary, I insisted they were women.
And you saw that they delivered capably.
They did very well. They are very meticulous. And what I like about you women is that beyond your work, you put your religion and respect into your work. And unlike men, we just want it by force.
Well, maybe that's what's played out in the National Assembly. Maybe that's what, maybe not. But I want to quickly circle back to Edo State. Well, the governor, you have said he's done well in the last 100 days. The people will say, but he still has a case in court. And that has not been, settled. To your mind, do you think that is still a challenge that lies ahead for him?
I don't think the governor should look at the court issue as a challenge, because he won the election and he's our governor.
The opposition doesn't think so.
Yeah, I think the opposition is just making noise to keep their followers. It's part of the politics, because when I support anybody, I support everything. I go for it. I have been in court every day. When they were in Abuja, Benin, I relocated to Benin. I was going to court because I voted, I supported. I want to make sure that nobody truncate what I've done. When they moved to Abuja, I'm in Abuja, I go to court every day. With my experience in politics, from when I contested in 2007 in the House of Assembly, first term, I was taken to court, tribunal. Second term in House of Assembly, I was in tribunal. As a member of House of Representatives, okay, I didn't go to my congressman didn't take me to court, but as deputy governor, first and second term, they took us to tribunal. So, and from Oshomole regime till now, I've been studying how the court processes are going. This present one, there's nothing there. I will say it because the electoral law is clear. He that alleged must prove. And what I've seen in this particular case, there's no case. You came and dumped evidence in court, and the next day I see in social media, INEC has come to show that the other guy won. And the beavers machine that you brought to court, none of them is opened. Nobody have even questioned what the issue, what you want to achieve with the beavers. So I see it. What it is that you came and dump machines without proving what you want the machines to be used for. So the election was free, fair, and credible. So with what I've seen so far in this tribunal, I'm not sure that after the judgment they will even go for appeal. Because I'm seeing a judgment that they may even be fined for coming to court. From my experience from previous tribunal, there's nothing in this one. I can assure you of that.
Well, we'll see how it eventually plays out at the tribunal. We have to thank you very much for your analysis on Sunrise Elite this morning. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you, Malpe.